Welcome to Mexico Unexplained, where we will explore the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. This series presents information based partly on theory and conjecture. The podcaster's purpose is to suggest some possible explanation, but not necessarily the only ones to the subjects we will examine. Here is your host, Robert Bitto.
Welcome and muy bienvenidos to episode number 423 of Mexico Unexplained, where we examine the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. I'm your host, Robert Bitto. Nestled in the high desert plains of the Mexican state of Puebla, on the border with Veracruz, lies Laguna de Alchichica, a shimmering turquoise jewel set within an ancient volcanic crater. This saline lake, known as an Achalapasco in the local Nahuatl language, is more than just a natural wonder. Measuring almost 1.5 miles in diameter and plunging to a depth of almost 200 feet, its crystalline waters and surreal surroundings have inspired awe, fear, and fascination for generations. For those interested in the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico, Laguna de Alchichica is a treasure trove of legends, anomalies, and the bizarre that blur the lines between myth, science, and the supernatural. From silver-haired sirens to UFO sightings, from ancient microbial life to tales of a bottomless abyss, this lake is a portal to the unknown. Let's dive into the stories that make Laguna de Alchichica one of Mexico's most enigmatic destinations. Before we unravel the legends, let's set the stage with the lake's origins. Laguna de Alchichica is a maar, a type of volcanic crater formed by a violent explosion when magma meets groundwater, creating a wide, shallow basin that fills with water over millennia. The lake is one of 6 crater lakes in Puebla, each with its own unique character. Alchichica stands out for its high salinity, 13 grams per liter, and elevated magnesium levels, earning it the nickname, the Little Sea of Puebla. Its waters, ranging from a soothing deep blue to a bright emerald green, shift with the seasons, framed by the distant Pico de Orizaba volcano and surrounded by stark, arid landscapes that give the area an otherworldly feel, as if you've stepped onto an alien planet. This striking environment is the perfect backdrop for the myths that have flourished among the local communities of Tepehualco and nearby villages. The lake's high salinity, unusual for an inland body of water, has fueled speculation about its origins and connections to the sea. Its isolation, coupled with strange natural phenomena and unique geological features, has made it a magnet for tales of the supernatural. For centuries, the people living near Alchichica have woven stories that blend ancient indigenous beliefs, Spanish colonial influences, and modern mysteries, each adding layers to the lake's enigmatic reputation. One of the most enduring legends of Laguna de Alchichica is that of the silver-haired siren, a figure straight out of a fairy tale or a nightmare. According to local lore, on nights when the full moon bathes the lake in silvery light, a beautiful woman with long shimmering hair emerges from the depths. Her voice, a haunting melody, drifts across the water, luring men to the lake's edge. Entranced by her otherworldly beauty, these men wade into the cold, saline waters, following her song into the abyss. They are never seen again. The story warns that the siren's call is irresistible, and her victims, driven by a mix of love and madness, meet their doom in the lake's unfathomable depths. This tale, passed down through generations, bears striking similarities to siren myths found in cultures worldwide, from the Greek Odyssey to Mesoamerican water deities like Xalchitlique, the Aztec goddess of lakes and streams. It's also similar to the central Mexican mermaid creature called the Tlanchana, discussed in Mexico Unexplained episode number 47. Some speculate that the legend may have pre-Hispanic roots, tied to the lake's rumored use as a ceremonial site where ancient cultures performed rituals, possibly including sacrifices. The siren's silver hair and lunar connection evoke a mystical femininity, perhaps a remnant of indigenous reverence for water as a life-giving yet dangerous force. Others suggest a more practical origin. The lake's high salinity and cold temperatures make swimming treacherous, especially at night, and drownings could have been explained through the lens of this seductive, deadly figure. Another persistent legend claims that Laguna de Alchichica has no bottom. The lake is a watery abyss that stretches infinitely downward, or in some versions, connects directly to the ocean. This belief likely stems from the lake's high salinity, unusual for a landlocked crater, leading locals to speculate that it must be fed by an underground channel to the sea. Some even say that objects dropped into the lake, like coins or stones, never reach the bottom, vanishing into a subterranean void. Science offers a different perspective. Studies have measured the lake's depth at approximately 200 feet, with some divers reporting attempts to reach deeper but being thwarted by strong currents or disorienting conditions. The idea of a bottomless lake may be a poetic exaggeration, but it's easy to see why it persists. The lake's crystalline waters create optical illusions, making it hard to gauge depth, and its isolation in a barren landscape fuels the imagination. Jacques Cousteau, the famed French oceanographer, was reportedly captivated by Alchichica's mysteries, though no definitive record confirms his exploration of the lake. Still, the notion of a secret oceanic connection adds to the lake's mystique, blending geological curiosity with folklore. Perhaps the most modern and intriguing phenomenon associated with Laguna de Alchichica is its reputation as a hotspot for UFO sightings. Locals and visitors alike have reported seeing brilliant, multicolored spheres of light hovering above the lake or plunging into its depths, only to vanish without a trace. One chilling account comes from a man who, while resting near the lake, heard an intense buzzing sound like a swarm of bees, growing louder until it became deafening. Looking up, he saw a glowing object vibrating in the sky before it dove into the center of the lake, never to resurface. Don Eliseo Licho Ventura Lopez, another local storyteller, recounted tales of extraterrestrial spacecraft entering and exiting the lake, describing them as charms that defy explanation. Some believe the lake hides an underwater alien base, its saline waters and remote location providing a perfect cover for extraterrestrial activity. These stories first appeared in the Mexican pulp UFO press in the 1970s and have gained traction in recent decades, possibly influenced by global UFO fascination and the lake's eerie, otherworldly appearance. The white, coral-like stromatolites, ancient microbial structures ringing the shore, only enhance the sense that Alchichica could be a portal to another world. Skeptics might argue that mysterious lights seen in the lake are natural phenomena, such as bioluminescent algae or reflections of stars on the water's surface. The lake's high altitude, over 7,500 feet above sea level, and clear skies make it ideal for stargazing, which could lead to misinterpretations of celestial objects. Yet the consistency of these accounts, spanning generations, suggests something more is at play, whether it's atmospheric anomalies, psychological phenomena, or, as some believe, visitors from beyond. Laguna de Alchichica is home to unique microendemic species, including the Poblana alchichica, a type of silver-side fish, and the Ambystoma taylori, a rare axolotl adapted to saline waters, both listed as threatened or protected under Mexico's environmental laws. But local legends speak of stranger creatures. There are stories of a shy, gigantic axolotl that suns itself on the lake's shores, far larger than the typical Ambystoma taylori. This creature, described as elusive and almost mythical, adds to the lake's reputation as a haven for the unusual. Another tale involves giant worms, or serpentine creatures said to inhabit the depths. These could be exaggerations of the lake's microbial life, particularly the cyanobacteria that form stromatolites, or perhaps misidentified aquatic organisms. The lake's unique ecosystem, with its high salinity and alkaline conditions, supports life forms found nowhere else, making it easy to see how ordinary creatures could be transformed into monsters in the local imagination. No discussion of Mexican folklore would be complete without mentioning La Llorona, the weeping woman whose cries haunt waterways across the country discussed in Mexico, Unexplained episode number 2. Several eyewitnesses have recounted sightings of a spectral figure wandering the lake's shores, her wails echoing in the night. This version of La Llorona may be a local adaptation, blending with the siren legend, to create a uniquely Alchichican ghost story. The lake's desolate setting and haunting beauty make it a fitting stage for such tales where the line between grief and the supernatural feels razor thin. Beyond the myths, Laguna de Alchichica harbors a scientific anomaly: stromatolites, or more precisely thrombolites, living carbonated structures formed by cyanobacteria that date back thousands of years. These so-called living rocks are among the oldest forms of life on Earth, resembling the microbial communities that helped create our planet's oxygen-rich atmosphere billions of years ago. At Alchichica, they form an almost continuous ring around the lake, resembling white coral reefs in the saline water. Remarkably, these stromatolites have drawn the attention of astrobiologists. Recent studies noted similarities between Alchichica's microbial structures and formations allegedly found on Mars, suggesting the lake could be a terrestrial analog for ancient Martian water bodies. This connection has fueled speculation that Alchichica is not just a window into Earth's past, but a clue to life on other planets. For locals, the stromatolites' eerie, porous forms only deepen the lake's alien mystique, perhaps inspiring those UFO tales. Despite its allure, Laguna de Alchichica faces threats from over-extraction of groundwater and localized droughts, which have caused water levels to drop dramatically by over 200 million gallons in a single year, according to some reports. The lake's unique ecosystem, including its endemic species and stromatolites, is at risk, prompting efforts to designate it and nearby Xalapascos as protected areas. These conservation challenges add a layer of urgency to the lake's story, reminding us that its mysteries could be lost if not preserved. For those inspired to visit, Laguna de Alchichica is accessible via Highway 140 from Puebla to Jalapa, near the town of Tepeahualco. It's about a 90-minute drive from Puebla City or 3 hours from Mexico City. Public transportation is limited, so a private car or guided tour, often paired with a visit to the nearby Cantona ruins, is recommended. The lake is ideal for hiking, photography, and picnics, though swimming is discouraged due to the cold, saline water. Visitors should respect the fragile ecosystem, taking care not to disturb the stromatolites or leave litter behind. As you stand on the shores of Alchichica, surrounded by its unearthly beauty, it's easy to feel the weight of its legends. Is the siren song still echoing in the moonlight? Are those lights in the sky stars or something more? Does a giant axolotl lurk in the depths? For Mexico Unexplained listeners, Laguna de Alchichica is a place where science and myth intertwine, inviting you to question, explore, and wonder. Whether you come for the stories, the natural beauty, or the sheer spectacle, one thing is certain: this lake will leave you spellbound. Thank you once again for listening to another episode of Mexico Unexplained. Remember to like and subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on X and TikTok. Tell your friends by sharing these shows with others. Please go to our website, MexicoUnexplained.com, for references, illustrations, and for free access to transcripts of past shows. Please visit Amazon.com to purchase the books Mexico Unexplained, Mexican Monsters, and Mexican Miracles to get hard copies of the magic, the mysteries, and the miracles of Mexico. We appreciate your kind attention once again. Until next time, thank you and gracias.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Mexico Unexplained with host Robert Bitto. For show summary, relevant links and commentary, please check out our website at mexicounexplained.com. Like us on Facebook and be a part of the conversation. Adios and hasta la vista.